Let's look at some more fight finishers from a single hand lapel grab. We looked at the basic pressure is usually either forward or backward, and we saw some good releases and some good follow-ups. This can be used for those, but if you want to add the extra dimension that sometimes he's trying to whip you side to side, okay? Now I don't always have to break the grip. That's the simplest way we talked about, then I can go to a noose choke. But we also have a nice shoulder lock because we're moving up the hierarchy of joints here when his arm is in this position. So if he starts jerking me side to side, the key is I have to get my arm on the inside. This moves his hand to my shoulder. Then I move towards him, and as long as his arm is bent at about 90 degrees, I have a really nice shoulder lock here. Boom, if I do this hard, it's gonna pop out. This is pretty commonly taught in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but usually as a shoulder grab, where he has to specifically grab my shoulder. This one isn't as common as grabs to the front, and we'll be looking at that later when we go beyond the top 10. But I want to demonstrate that when he grabs you from the front, you can still use that shoulder lock, but you need to put an extra move in. You need to put your arm under so that it moves his hand to your shoulder. From here, you wrap his arm up. Now, traditionally, the grip is taught this way. It works okay, but in the real world, I've found that when you have a person who's particularly tall or they're a little more flexible in the shoulder, you get to a certain point, and if he's really tall or flexible, you don't have the leverage anymore to keep pulling up. It's hard to demonstrate on a guy my own height, but believe me, I've done this for real and I found the problem. So what you can do, simply by changing your grip, you can get another couple inches of force here. So this is the traditional way to do it here with your palms up. But if I switch this palm this way and lock my palms here, it once again turns my elbow in instead of this way, which is strong in this position, but once I get it up higher, it becomes weak. So in this position, look how my elbow keeps having the capacity to raise up, okay? Now I don't want to keep hurting his arm, but the point being is that by using that grip, I can lift this elbow up a lot higher than I can in this position. Once you get about here, which is the traditional grip I was talking about, do you see how my elbow is getting awkward here? My shoulder muscles are starting to fight against it. But when I switch to this grip, I can keep raising my elbow, and that really is the difference. I wouldn't call this secret, but I've never seen anyone else teach it that way, probably because they've never used this in the real world. When you're in the academy, you do it compliantly, everybody taps. But when you have a guy who's a little bit taller, you need that extra edge. So the trick here, and I like to use this if he tries to pull me side to side. So when his arm goes this way, look at the big window he just opened up. I bring my arm in, and of course, if his arm is a little straighter, I drop my elbow on it and use my downloading of my weight to get the arm bent. Remember, to effect a shoulder lock, I need to have a nice 90-degree angle here. Then I hook on the inside of his elbow joint,